Just like the last one, this was taken off of streaming platforms. It's not on here, but there's this YouTube video that just uploaded the whole thing in one go. There's other YouTube videos that like have it that are profiting from it. And even though he took it off streaming platforms, I don't know, maybe he just forgot about it or something, but it's still on SoundCloud. April 20th, 2020. Just after COVID popped off.
No, it's not enough, it's not enough. Okay. When I touch that bag, it nearly doubled up 2 times. And I miss a trip to walking double cup. But
yeah, the transition from his last project to this one, it's exactly what I would have expected if I went in with expectations. His vocals sound exactly like how they do on his later projects, on like 4L and things like that. It's just these beats, they're just not refined. They're way too weird. This is a weird beat, and the beginning threw me off.
let's go. Can't quit the cap, it just hair burning beans. No, I'm not one to chat, sit back and learn some things. She know, she want bigger things.
This is a flaw that I notice with the style that Yeat's developed that he blew up off of. You kind of have to get into it with like a bit of like a cult mentality of like fully just trusting Yeat in order to get through the whole song, and then let mere exposure allow you to like the song more and more and more the more times you listen to it. But I said this when I first started listening to Yeat. He's like a Jose Aldo type of, where he's like the best in the world for like the first 30 seconds or the first minute. And then it just gets repetitive, it gets boring, because it's like, if you go into it, if you play into it, if you allow Yeat to just like flood you with stimulation, you get burnt out quick. And this was a problem that I had in the beginning listening to Yeat when he first started popping off, and I wouldn't want to listen to him until later. But I haven't had that problem in a while with his stuff. I'm having that problem again right now. Yeah, this beat is weird. Okay, I like this beat a little better so far.
Go, let's go. Whoa, Rolly bust it down. Whoa, yeah, I'm trying to get so high like right now. That shit hurt you not so smooth, I heard her out. Yeah, they like this so-called drip, they use a towel. Yeah,
I like that.
Look at my shoes, they say my jelly.
Dude, Summrs has such good synergy with Yeat. They could have evolved their styles together, man. They could have done it. Like, Summrs and Yeat could have stayed connected that whole time. I mean, they couldn't have because of other circumstances, but it's a shame that this happens so much in the underground, dude. Like, you would think that like the underground in music would be like strong and connected, and like everyone would be like looking out for each other because of how cutthroat the upper levels of the music industry is. But not like people in the upper levels of the music industry, they don't like each other, and they have way less care and concern and way less actual love for the game and way less of a soul. But they're willing to be fake and like make songs with people they don't even like. Everyone in the music industry is so emotional. I gotta get in the music industry, bro. I gotta change things. I gotta fix things.
I'm more to give.
This is crazy. The confidence that he's rapping with, that you only really expect when you get like a modern day Yeat with all of his numbers and his like massive cult following and all the TikTok sounds that blew up and all the other A-listers that like want to work with him. And also the beats. These beats are not that great, to be honest with you. Compared to his newer stuff, these are nothing. But he's like actually giving it his all, like his complete energy every go.
Ooh, I hit C too big, that mean got some fucking bins.
That's actually really admirable, because it's very clear with people like this, and I find with everyone that makes it actually, they all expect to make it. They all truly 100% wholeheartedly believe they are next up. And when you truly believe that, being at the position in your career where you know you're not at your peak yet, you know you're not able to fully take advantage of your situation yet, and still giving it your all, going like, yeah, I could upload this song in the future when I'm more famous and it'll get way more views and it might go viral because of the kind of the way I resonate with it, but I'm still going to give it my all right now and put all my energy and effort into it right now, even though it won't get nearly as many views, so I can make it up there. And then I trust that once I'm at the top, I will have the same level of energy. I'll have the same like level of like imagination and innovation to create even better stuff. That's actually a very rare attitude. It's the attitude that musicians and artists should have, but it's actually so rare. I find all these people that go like, I'll release my okay songs, but I won't release my best songs because I want to save them for when I'm bigger. It's like, can't you trust that when you're bigger, this song will not even be as good to you because you'll have made things 10 times better than it? Why are you putting the music on a pedestal? You should put the fact that your mind can even come up with these kinds of melodies on a pedestal, because then you devalue the song in a way. I don't want that to be misinterpreted. Like, you got to really understand the essence of what I'm saying here. You kind of devalue songs. You kind of put them out. You kind of just like it's not that big of a deal if people listen to it or don't listen to it. I have plenty of beats, I have plenty of songs, I have plenty of lyrics in the vault. Yeah, if this song doesn't pop off, I can make 1,000 more like it, you know? My analogy for when people have good songs and they don't put it out, this problem, it's like a really persistent problem with the entire music industry. My analogy for it is, let's say you're like just shooting free throws, right? And you get a certain amount of time, and every free throw you make, you're progressing your career, you're expanding your score. The point is to get the highest score. And you have a ball that is a multiplier, that's a ×2 multiplier of all the score you've made so far. That's a great song. That's a song that you know is like, oh, this is a hit. Because what people do is they get their hands on that ball and they go, oh, this is my score right now. I can multiply it. How about I save it for later and shoot the other ones? But you know what the problem is? It's this concept I call double inflation, which is what I just explained. And I'm just saying this for like music. I might make this its own individual clip. Double inflation, which happens in many different industries, but for music, in the music industry, it's when a song doesn't get released, it gets inflated on both sides. Because when you have a song and it sounds really good, you have to understand the fact that you're human. The fact that the reason why it sounds good to you is not only because it might be a good song, but also because of the things you're listening to at the same time. Music is constantly changing, and every creator is also a consumer. The music you consume impacts the music you create. And when something like sounds really, really good, it's almost always the case that it's also good in the context of the music that you're listening to, in the time period that you're listening to it. So when something really hits, that's the best time to release it. So it's being inflated in that as time goes on and the game changes, you take that ball, you put it back on the rack, and then you shoot 10 more. You look back on that ball and you go, oh, I want to double my points now. It's not a point doubler anymore. It turns into a normal ball. And you missed your chance. When you get that opportunity, you have to kind of take it as like, oh, this is a sign from like the universe. I mean, it's not like, I don't want to get spiritual or anything, but that's a good way to interpret it as. It's a sign from my intuition of all of the things I'm hearing around me, my gut feeling that this is going to work, that this is what's supposed to happen. And you're supposed to put it out, not let it sit in the vault for 4 years. But then it also gets inflated by the other side, which is if you are an actual like true musician and you're not just, oh, I want to pursue music, and then when it doesn't work out and you're broke and then you start working again, you stop pursuing music because you get home and doing music is like a chore for you rather than like a thing you're passionate about. You don't actually care about music then. You're not a real musician. But if you are a real musician, you will be constantly evolving, constantly getting better. And the music you are making year after year will make the music that you made a year ago sound terrible to you. It'll sound embarrassing to you. You'll be like, I can't believe I was this bad. I can't believe I progressed this much. And part of getting better and evolving at music is putting music out there to find success, to find that feedback, to get the views, to get the money so that you can pay for more resources and better features and all this stuff. You can expand your career and do even more. Music is like an investment like that pays dividends that you can keep reinvesting back into. So when you get a point multiplier, you got to realize the next point multiplier that comes across is not going to be a ×2. It's going to be a ×3 or a ×4. But you have to make this one first. People are like, art is so subjective. You can't rush art. You can't rely on art. You can't rely on the fact that like you're going to make a hit all the time. And maybe if you manage to get like a song that you like really like, that you show everyone and everyone loves and everyone has good things to say about it and they all want you to really release it, you can't rely on the fact that you'll make one of those songs like every month. And it's like, yeah, but you know what's even less reliable? The moves of the music industry. The moves of all the other musicians that are going to change the sound as time goes on, or worse yet, if it's that sound's time and it resonates so deeply with what people are listening to and it's so innovative in it and it has just the perfect amount of familiarity with the current sound, but also branches out and pushes the boundaries just enough to where it's exciting to listen to and it feels like something new, and it's not something that people will go like, oh my god, this sounds like everything else, you know, and you can actually make like a TikTok sound out of it or something like that. Everyone wants to make music now. What if someone takes that sound, they come up with that same idea hits them, they tap into it and they go, oh, now I'm gonna release it. You know how many times this has happened? With the absolute best stuff that I've heard, it hasn't happened. So I wasn't thinking about that until just now. But with close to the best stuff I've heard that people didn't put out, there were times where it was actually like, we'd look at someone's catalog, I'd be in the studio with someone and they'd be showing me their best beat. And honestly, I kind of agree, it was their best beat at the time. And they didn't put it out. And then maybe like, it was a long time ago, so time is kind of warped. Maybe like 3 months passed or something like that. We were still familiar with how the song went, so it couldn't have been that long. Migos made a song, they made a beat and it had that, you know what it was? It was this song right here. Migos made this song 190 million views and it used the same instrument and a very similar melody to the song that I heard from the other guy. If you heard them back to back, you would think one of the songs is stealing from the other one. And it's not like any of them stole from the other. They don't know about each other. It's more like they both tapped into an ether of music that they were able to steal from. You can call it God, you can call it the universe, you can call it just playing things on a MIDI keyboard and just seeing what sounds good. But both of them, not Migos, but like their producers were able to tap into the same thing, except they put it out. And like maybe the smaller musician would not have gotten 170 million views or wherever, not 190, whatever that was. But maybe he would have got 190,000. That's better than the 0 he's getting right now, having putting nothing out. Because that's often the behavior that you find, is that when people want to save songs for any reason, even if it's a good reason, even if they can justify the reason, they usually never have a reason to put out any songs to begin with. That's the thing. Actually 2 days ago, I was telling my brother about this again. I was giving him another lecture. It should be common sense what I'm saying, but he's like, oh, you don't believe in like quality control? I hate the way people word that question. You don't believe in quality control? You don't believe in this God? Or people, oh, you don't believe in climate change? You don't believe in aliens? It's like, we're talking about different things here. What do you mean believe? As if it's some tenet you have to live your life by, not just like a practice that you can implement into things you're doing. My brother's the same guy who goes like, oh, music is subjective. It's art is subjective. Quality control, is music a factory? Are you churning out one thing after another on an assembly line? If McDonald's gives someone a bad batch of food and they get food poisoning from it or something like that, then that quality control is actually detrimental. If someone hears a song they don't like, they're gonna just tune into a different song. What's the harm in that? Is someone gonna sue you because they're like, oh, this guy took 2 minutes of my time by forcing me to listen to a song that I didn't enjoy? And they're gonna play it at the jury, and then half those people are gonna like it and the other half are gonna go, actually, I don't really like the song. The half that are gonna like it are gonna end up giving you the views so you get paid from it, and the other half that don't like it, they go, I don't like it, and then you kill yourself because they say I don't like it. Like, what the hell is people's attitude? Just because someone doesn't like your music, you're not gonna put it out? Quality control is such a stupid concept in music. Like, if you upload all your songs, some people will like different things. You can have a worse quality and someone will resonate with that more than the songs that you have a better quality on. By putting music out there, you are throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks with no downside, and you're offering people the opportunity to find something they resonate with. Why wouldn't you put everything else? And then another concept that I've been telling my brother about is like, stop worrying about Spotify and all this other like stuff that doesn't matter. The only platform that matters is YouTube. And then the way you handle all the other platforms is you make them resemble YouTube as much as possible. But the platform that you really have to worry about is making your YouTube channel. When someone goes on your channel, you make it look good. You make it look inviting. You make it enjoyable to navigate your channel. And then my brother's like, oh, but you know, he's always trying to argue this point with me. Like, why are you on the wrong side here? Why are you arguing against me when I'm telling you a good thing? And he's trying to use my logic. He's like, oh, what about like having good like YouTube channel? It's like, yeah, that is the highest expression of yourself, is to take everything you have and put it out there in the creative endeavor that you're pursuing. And yeah, I would like on my homepage, I'd be like, okay, here's a project. Here's favorites, maybe if I was some guy who like actively managed it, but I don't care. It's like a one and done kind of thing for me. Yeah, set it and forget it. And then I would put like popular videos. So the most popular, the most liked songs, all videos. So like everything, the entire catalog, if you want to go through the whole thing. Then like playlists. So it would show all the different projects. Then like stuff I'm featured on. And I have all these like sections, fan made edits, fan made videos, covers, vlogs on like a second channel. I would connect the playlist on my main channel, music videos. I forgot about that one. Whatever kind of content you would want to make, you can have it organized like that and then, you know, give people options. But my point is like everything he uses to argue against me is like missing the point entirely. If you're in an arcade and you only got 60 seconds to shoot as many balls as you can and you grab a ball and it's a ×2 multiplier, you don't put it to the side and then start shooting others and then wait till the end. Especially when, if you make that one, the next one that's going to roll through, when that one rolls back to you, it's a ×3 multiplier. And then when it rolls again, it's a ×4 multiplier. You shoot it the moment you get it. It's not a great analogy, but it's the best analogy I could think of. Music, like pursuing music in an ethical way at least, is like an arcade basketball game. Like let's say the arcade basketball game in your actual arcade had like a digital screen that's like the next ball you shoot. If you make this one, if you miss it, it doesn't count. If you make this one, it's a ×2 multiplier. are you gonna stop and go like, okay, wait, now I gotta really lock in and like actually focus on making this one? You might do that, but then you should actually reevaluate. Why are you shooting all the other balls not locked in? Why shouldn't you be making an honest attempt to make every single one of them, to be giving it your all right from the beginning? If you're playing it correctly and you're trying to make as many in as you possibly can, then coming across a ×2 multiplier shouldn't change the way you're throwing the ball. It should be exactly the same. In the music industry, every song should be released exactly the same, which is when it's done, you drop it. Yeah, I just wanted to go on that like little rant. I know I've been ranting a lot in these, but I gotta get these off my chest early. I swear I won't rant like these in my later reactions. I don't want to put myself, I need water actually. All right, well, I'll try to put myself back in a good mood and continue this.
Stay coming too cool. We started that wet, I ain't talking foo-foo. She started the line, she think that she...
Interesting ideas. In the beginning came in really cool, but yeah, it feels a bit detached from what's going on in the beat. They feel like two different ideas that are going in two different directions.
Like a motherfucking bone. Money that tied that motherfucking stool. Put a little broke ass nigga in the tongue.
But man, these vocal effects hit. The rest of the song, the features are not so great. The song itself is not that great. It's Yeat's vocal melodies that are carrying it.
I gotta show out now.
This is a cool emoji, or ASCII text thing.
You know you're not living like that. I miss that dirty drugs with a Vicodin. I show her 30 love like a vitamin.
This seems like it should be like one of these cult classic Yeat songs that like his hardcore fan base like really messes with.
Rolly got a new code. Ooh, you thinking you bold. Why? I know you.
These hi-hats, the metallic sounding instrument is just a little too loud. I'm sure they figured it out after they released a song, as what usually happens. Just a tad bit too loud. It's not as enjoyable when I have to turn the volume down, but I have to. Man, it's a cool instrumental. Throwing in like new instruments like right here in the beat, all these like pew sounds and stuff. Yeah, I like those sounds. Only 3 songs. Screw it, we're listening to the next one as well. Look, other people are, Yeat Archive is uploaded this in 2020 and it still hasn't been taken down, and he's making money from this. This one was dropped on 9/11. I see what happened. So these 2 songs apparently didn't get removed, and again, they're also on here, Nobu and Geeker Day, but they're not by Yeat removed these songs. So it seems like Yeat is only removing songs from other platforms, like from re-uploaders and from archivers, when he also removes the song. But when he uploads a song, he lets anybody repost it basically. Usually it's the other way around, because people don't want other channels leeching off of the views from the songs that they want to be released. But it seems more like he just genuinely doesn't want people to hear these songs. Like he's not proud of these songs, and he wants to take them down from everywhere. And then he's like, yeah, sure, you want to post my songs? At least just spread the ones I already have that are out there, you know? It's not as admirable as someone keeping that stuff out there as like a memento, as like a piece of history to show people, oh, this is where I came from. But it's way more admirable than the pursuit of greed. Wait, never mind, I was wrong. This is on Yeat's official SoundCloud. The 2 songs that are remaining are the 2 ones that he got rid of on Spotify. Hey, Nobu. This is a bit weird with his repetition, but yeah, dude, this sounds just like his later stuff. He isn't as sophisticated with this style yet, but he's equally as confident. He's reached the level of confidence that he had in all the stuff that he blew up in already.
I got blues, I throw them up. Let's hit no reactors. Let's hit no. Pull up.
See, he's already hook here, hook here. I'm glad he evolved from this problem, because he doesn't do this often until he like really feels like he has a hit, and then he'll actually have like 2 verses in the song rather than just having 1. Because I think that's when Yeat's at his best is, or not that, that's not actually when he's at his best, but that's what he should do for most of his songs to reach their highest potential, is end them quick, end them after 1:20 seconds. And I don't know if that's the case for his newest stuff. I never gave his newest stuff that honest of a chance, like in listening to it, but it didn't feel as innovative or as evolutionary for its time, you know? It didn't feel like it was like just a never-ending series of new ideas just being thrown at me, like how his older stuff is. And I think for the never-ending series of new ideas, 1:20 is I wonder if Yeat was doing those ad-libs, not the, he basically stopped it by now already, but if he was doing those like Young Thug Harambe type, like Jeffrey type ad-libs, they're like super aggressive, like, like those ad-libs, which he did for a little while, I wonder if he would have blown up in the same way, because they don't fit him at all. But then again, it's like hindsight's 2020. I would not have learned to appreciate this style if he didn't choose to take it so far and go so hard with it and evolve it and develop it so much, you know? Maybe he could have turned that into something, but I'm glad we live in this reality. Oh, he just did it. Never mind, he just did it, but he stopped it eventually. Yeah. What's up?
What's up? Wake up, it was my day outside. I was in the jail like 5. Yeah, soldiers that can't.
Where is he getting inspiration from to do stuff like this? Does he think that like people actually enjoyed Lil Pump's music and what made Lil Pump successful was his music rather than the story he was telling on social media? Like, is he trying to pull from that style of sound? Maybe he's that naive. I don't know. Wait, the cover art for the song is different from the cover art for the project. That's weird. Yo, what is this? Why does the melody kind of sound better when it's reversed? That one wasn't really that good. Not worth listening to twice. This is the third one. Yeat and Weiland. Oh, this is sick.
Like Carrie Underwood, yeah, you cooperated with the fucking 12. You a bitch boy, bitch made, big biz on us.
It's basic, but it's like, Yeat's really in his element. It's kind of a long phase where he's actually in his element, and he is in the later projects as well. The beat is pretty basic. It's just, maybe I'm expecting too much evolution. Maybe I've just been spoiled because his last few projects have just been like so rapidly changing that now I'm expecting every single thing he puts out next to all be like one after the other. Like, give me something new, throw some new ideas out there. I've been spoiled with ideas. Maybe I shouldn't expect this much creativity from someone for this long, you know? But yeah, he's definitely in his element. He's definitely like, he's flowing.
That's the big way. Ran up with his money, set him on that. We on Venice on the bitches.
So who's checking
money? Fetish bitches come and go, but let's go get it.
Nah, dude, wait, he's actually, this is actually really good. Like the melody isn't hitting me, and that's ultimately what does it for me wanting to put things in my playlists. But there actually is like, there's a lot you could take from just studying this song and studying his vocals on it, his flow, his style for making bars, and you can use this to like get ideas for so many different other pieces of music that you make. Because like this is like sprezzatura executing ideas like so effortlessly that you don't even notice the kind of new ideas he's throwing in. This is so, like, everything about this. The aesthetic, Comic Sans font, Yeat is spelled wrong, Weiland is spelled wrong. This is how you know like people are in their creative primes right here, is when they take pictures like this. Every picture they're in, it's nighttime because that's when creative people are like up and that's when they're at their best. Exploring the world, taking pictures. This is a hard picture. Next. Put it out. This is inspiring, bro, because there's a place in Atlanta called Buckhead Shops that looks like this. And I took pictures of people like in Buckhead Shops before. And I'm like, damn, bro, we got to be out in Cuckhead and Buckhead, Cuckhead. We got to be out there every night. We're cooking up, bringing people to the studio, new people every single time, seeing if we're on the same frequency. We go out, go to Buckhead Shops, get something nice, eat some nice food, come back, cook up some more. Like, this has got to be our nightly routine. And I'll be honest, bro, I'm 24. There's not many more years I have left to experience this kind of lifestyle with this kind of energy. I know people are gonna be like, oh, don't say like that's not so old for music. Yeah, it is.
Rolling on my wrist, filled with big baguettes. Baby, this that fraud money. Baby, this that different cheddar.
He said this that frog money. He said it's my money, bro. Thanks for the shout out, Weiland. That's not even why I paused it. It's gonna be tough to find someone that Weiland has like a synergy like this with. He's such a versatile artist. He wants to do everything, you know? Like, this is good synergy. If any other artist had this with any other artist, I'd be like, yeah, they're good together on songs. And I'm making these videos to show why he is, or to understand whether or not he is that kind of artist. But Weiland is a deeply creative individual. Like, regardless of the way that his music has turned out, he's always been like a guy with a real imagination. I don't even know if he knows that. I don't even know if he's aware of that, to be honest with you. It might just be an unconscious thing, but he has those behaviors. So I know that if Weiland gets on a track with someone who he really has synergy with, you'll know. You'll see that. It'll be synergy on a different level than what the mainstream can put out right now. It'll be seamless. It'll be immersive in a new kind of way. And you'll recognize it as being something like, oh, this is not something you hear every day. It'll kind of put a lot of other features to shame, that it'll make you wonder like, yo, why are people featuring each other on songs like this? Are they just doing it for money? They don't actually like care about like doing it for the to make a better song. I'm not getting that from this. It's just, it's okay. What the hell is this? You know what I'm saying? People just be uploading Yeat songs and getting away with it. Ooh, and the last song in the project, Geeker Day. Wait, dude, the name of my throwaway clips channel that I'm throwing all these onto is Geeker, like Geeker clips or like real Geeker, something like that. See, this is where I think the drugs can be a little too much, and I think they can be a hindrance at some points, because drugs can push you a little bit when they actually get you high, but when you do them too often, not when you do too much, not when you're like ODing, but when you do them too often, when you do them too regularly, and you start to develop a tolerance, and that drug, it doesn't get you high the way it used to, it actually just changes your reality, and you start to like these songs more than they actually are supposed to be liked. It makes you a more, how would you say it, accepting consumer. And all these drugs, alcohol, weed, perks, like every upper and downer both. All drugs in a way are submissive. This is not a concept I want to talk about right now because it's like too deep of a concept, but they will basically allow you to slip into enjoying the song more and having a lower barrier to entry to be like, all right, I like the song. It'll lower your standards basically. And I find that when people get high every single time they go to the studio rather than like sometimes, which you should do it sometimes. I'm not even denying that. It's probably a good idea. It brings out so much in people. But when people do it every single time, not being mindful, it's like you're going to make a lot of slop and you're going to be listening back to it and you're going to be like, yo, this is hard, when really it's not. Not to say that other people might not enjoy it. Again, it's a melody thing, you know? Everyone resonates with different things. Different sounds just tickle the brain in different ways. I feel like if I was going through listening to all of Yeat's stuff and I had not heard his new stuff, then maybe I'd be like, oh, this is really innovative. And I hope I talk about that in his later stuff and I don't like just forget to mention it because it's so ubiquitous to me. But this is familiar. So it's hard for me to go like, oh, is this innovative? Is it not? Because I've already heard this style so much. But look at this community playlist someone made. They did this. They went through all of Yeat's old stuff as well. Ah, he took these down. Shame. Trendy is here. Good, good, good. So everything else looks like it's here. This is actually not like a crazy amount. If you really look at it, it's like pretty high standards compared to what people would do if anyone could just go like, oh yeah, I'm featuring Yeat on this song. This would be flooded. That's why I tell people to put out projects, not singles, because that comes with the understanding that you would also be putting out a lot of music because you would be putting out all the music you make, or at least most of it. And it's like, you don't want to clutter things. You want things to be kind of in folders of eras or ideas or identities or arcs of a story or things like that. You know, you want to have some kind of something going on, some way to organize your music, and albums, EPs, LPs, mixtapes, cuts, compilations, whatever the hell you want to call it. I'm just going to call all of them projects just to keep it simple. That's a way to do that. It's a way to keep things clean even when you have like 300 songs or whatever. People are always like, oh, should I release like albums or singles? And maybe I should just spam singles, do what like Russ did to like brute force his way to the top of the industry. Russ also had some advantages that we don't really talk about. That's not to say that his strategy is a bad strategy. In fact, I think it's a great strategy. But yeah, no, if you do that, let me go to Russ actually. It's cluttered everywhere. I mean, and he had to do what he had to do to make it. And he became an example of like, this is like a style, but it would be nice if he could like take all of these with like the same covers and put them all into like a single product. Maybe not all of them, but like categorize them a bit. I'm way too stimulated right now. I gotta take a break. I might need like 1 or 2 days before I go to the next project, which is 4L, and I'm excited for that one.